Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, someone is on the prowl, and they have a thirst for murder. Murdering taxi drivers. Tonight's movie, Taxi Hunter.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! All hope is lost. Yes, my friends, you might as well pack it in because there is no hope from escape, or at least not until after October. Anyways, tonight, I think it is time that we go to the land of the Far East for a review of a movie from Hong Kong during the wonderful, I would say, golden age of Hong Kong action, violence, exploitation cinema, and review a movie that is starring a man who's fast becoming one of my favorite Chinese actors. That is Mr. Anthony Wong, who's been in such wonderful films as Ebola Syndrome, The Untold Story, what was it, Erotic Nightmare, as well as others. Anyways, and the movie that I'm going to review is Taxi Hunter. Now, Taxi Hunter is, I'm going to stretch it and say, a violent revenge thriller is kind of like a horror movie in ways, because what happens to this poor man is kind of horrific. Anyway, not kind of, it is actually horrific. So whatever. Screw it. I can do what I want. So this is a horror movie. Anyways, Taxi Hunter. So what is Taxi Hunter about? Well, it is about your average nice guy husband. His wife is pregnant. They are getting ready for its birth. He's buying all kinds of stuff for the child. He's living his good life. His best friend's a police officer. He's unassuming. He doesn't get in anybody's way. But when the negligence of a taxi driver leads to the death of his pregnant wife, something is unleashed inside him, and he now goes on a hell-bent spree of revenge, hunting down bad taxi drivers and murdering them. Yes. All the while, the police are trying to figure out who this taxi hunting serial killer is. And honestly, it's no wonder why people haven't taken matters in their own hands before, because these taxi drivers are really pieces of shit. They will go oh man, I'm gonna overcharge you. I'm gonna not take you to where you want to go because I don't feel like it. It's. I'm going to, you're a cute girl, we're going to take you to this secluded place and I'm going to try to rape you. It's like these guys are bad guys, right? And through the course of the film, you're like, man, really, these guys kind of deserve to what's coming to them, because they are just manipulative, exploitative, downright nasty scoundrel human beings. And maybe I'm using human beings as kind of like a loose term there. But anyways, so, of course, he goes on, killing spree. His best friend cop has to try to figure out who's killing them and stop the killings. All the while, the taxi drivers are freaking out about this shit. So, let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence score. I am going to give this a 3 out of 5. There are some bloody, nasty moments in this movie, but it is definitely not. This is not a Cat 3 rated film, so it doesn't go as super extreme and hardcore as it could have. And so, the blood, there is blood. What happens to his wife is sad and sickening, and has a big impact But overall, it's not as super bloody and violent as you would expect from a movie like this. So, but still pretty good. 3 out of 5. I'd say above average for sure. Moving on to shock value, I'm giving it 2 out of 5 because it's just like some of the things that happen, quite shocking, as well as just what happens to the scene. The scene involving his pregnant wife is just kind of heartbreaking. It is. It's like this movie is a tragedy, really. It is. So 2 out of 5. So plot, 4 out of 5. Like, look, this is a classic plot. This is, the average guy, the nice guy pushed too far because of, certain things, whether it's society. It's just, these taxi drivers are so, like, just in the wrong. Even there was so many chances that she could have been saved if it weren't for the absolute assholishness of these taxi drivers. And they're just, not customer service. They're not empathetical. They don't show humanity. And even throughout the movie, you see it time and time again. This guy, he tests them, and if you fail that test, you're dead. And honestly, you shouldn't be failing these tests. These all could have been avoided. So, and the plot works with that kind of dynamic. There are like times where, the guy's like, am I going too far? What's going, and you feel his pain, and like his best friend, the police officer, there are times where it's like, especially toward the end when inevitably you find out who's behind things, and it's just, you feel that that power through the story, and it is a tragedy. It is not, you definitely sympathize with this guy and you root for him in a way, but you also realize that what he's doing is wrong. And you feel that impact, and the story does a good job of making you feel that impact. And like there's even like the thing where undercover cop gets shot, and he feels real bad about it, and actually goes to visit to make sure he's all right. So you have a very layered movie with complex characters, and they're not, like the taxi drivers, okay, they're pretty one-dimensional, but like the main characters, very complex, very layered, very nuanced, in a very violent and action-packed container. So 4 out of 5 for plot. Acting, also a 4 out of 5. Anthony Wong is wonderful. There's a couple of cops that are played off for like comic relief, and they do fine. The main police officer, you feel the pathos, you understand the dilemmas. I think they all do just a really great job. Yes, there is some corniness and some cheesiness in there, but still very, very great. 4 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, 0 out of 5. Yeah, I know. Like when I picked this up, I was hoping that it was going to be like a Cat 3 extreme, sugars and sprinkles and everything wonderful exploitation fest. Akin to something like Naked Poison or whatever like that. No, it's not going to be like that, unfortunately. So 0 out of 5. It's a shame, but you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. So, moving on to enjoyment factor, I am giving this a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this movie. It's well-paced, it's gritty, it is violent, it has a great story, great performances, and it kind of got me in the feels from time to time too. So 4 out of 5. My overall impression is a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's for all of the praise that I heap on it. There are some little issues with the movie that drag it down. Even though I gave the plot like a 4 out of 5, it is pretty simple in the numbers. But one person might say that, oh, this is just kind of like a falling down ripoff, or So I get that, but is entertaining? Sure. It would have been nice to be a little more graphic in the violence, maybe have a little sexiness here and there, but it's actually really solid film, and maybe I'm rating it a little low at 3.5 out of 5. It just there was a little bit of me wanting some more, which is funny. It's like it's very enjoyable, but I think there could have been like a little bit. Sometimes I would say it feels like a little something's missing. Doesn't really detract from my enjoyment, but it doesn't feel like it's like a 4 out of 5 movie overall. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to justify it for myself. Whatever. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 overall impression, and that averages out to a 2.9 out of 5, which is very respectable, very well done. So there you have it, Taxi Hunter on Blu-ray from my friends at 88 Films, who do some great Hong Kong action films and the such. So there you have it. Woo, Taxi Hunter. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Did you think I lost you back in the overall impression? I don't know. Whatever. This is what happens, man. I'm doing it live, man. This is guerrilla style reviewing at its best. Or worse, depending on the way you're looking at it. Anyways, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, do all the stuff. Blah, blah, yada, yada, bang, bang, boom, bong, bing, bong, ding, dong, bong, ding, dong. I have no idea what I'm doing now. I mean, like, look, I'm like, well, we're like 8? Is this the 8th movie? We're not that far into the madness. We're not even a third of the way in, and I'm already, like, losing my mind. So, it's just gonna get fucking worse as we go. Anyway, so whatever, but thank you again for watching another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Remember to stay scary, internet, and as always, look, I know especially nowadays, it's like the most difficult freaking thing in the universe to just be like a good person, to be a human being, have some empathy. It's so hard. I know it's the worst. It's bad. Like, you have to like step out of yourself for like 2 seconds. I know it's awful, but man, just treat people with some dignity. Treat people with, regular human respect. You don't have to love them. You don't have to, you don't have to blow them or kill, whatever. You don't have to. You just have to treat them like they're a human being and deserving of their space and their time and their life. Like, because you never know. You could be being tested, and it could be for your life. So, you know what? Just don't be a jackass, okay? Just try not to be a jackass. I think that's a good life lesson, Live your life trying not to be a jackass. Okay? I'm just saying. All right. Ah!